I am Linda Cottone and I work for IOM Lybia, the UN Migration Agency. I'm going to talk to you about sea borders and migration management in the European Union policy on migration and asylum. Improved migration management allows for safe, orderly and regular human mobility to contribute to the socio-economic growth and development of the origin, transit and host communities. The European Agenda on Migration of 2015 was adopted to respond to the need for swift and determined action in response to the crisis in the Mediterranean and to counter the loss of lives at sea. Saving lives at sea has indeed been one of the top priorities of the EU intervention. Think about the Italian Operation Mare Nostrum and then after the Frontex joint operation. Along these lines, there is also the Operation Irene that has been launched at the end of March 2020 with the aim of enforcing the United Nations arms embargo to Libya, but not only. It contributes to the disruption of the business model of human smuggling and trafficking networks. This is done through information gathering and patrolling by planes. In fact, targeting criminal smuggling networks is another priority of the EU. Through the cooperation between Frontex and Europol, information of smugglers and vessels used are constantly shared to better respond. Also, in order to respond to the high volume of arrivals to the European member states, the EU has started programs for the relocation of the persons in need of international protection that are already in the EU soil, and resettlement paths to receive and accept asylum requests with safe legal ways to reach the EU. In short, to prevent these hazardous journeys from countries of origin and transit, the EU adopted 4 pillars for better migration management. That means that it engages beyond its border to strengthen cooperation with its global partners, to address the root causes, promote modalities of legal migration and foster circular growth and development in the country of origin and destination. How? There are 4 lines of action. The first one is reducing the incentives for irregular migration, and that means that you have to address the root causes of irregular and forced human mobility in third countries, and then to fight against the smuggling of migrants and trafficking in persons. Irregular migrants that are not allowed to stay have to be returned, and along with them, all the asylum seekers whose application is being rejected. The second line of intervention, as said, is border management. That includes saving lives at sea and securing the external borders. The third line of intervention is ensuring that EU member states comply with their duty to protect, and that is why there is a strong common asylum policy that's been adopted. This allows to have a coherent implementation of the common system against practices like asylum shopping. The fourth line of intervention is addressing long-term economic and demographic challenges. The EU population is aging, while its economy is increasingly dependent on high-skilled jobs. That is why maintaining the EU as an attractive destination for migrants is needed. Effective integration means including refugees, asylum seekers and children, and that concretely translates into facilitating the access to the local labor market and education system in order to maximize the development benefits for the countries of origins, but also the host community. The aim here is creating better economic opportunities in countries of origins through capacity building activities on effective management of labor migration. This encourages South-South mobility and facilitates cheaper, faster and safer remittances transfers, meaning the money that migrants send back home to their families. If you ask if the EU migration policy is more a security or a human rights matters, I can say that it's a combination of both, because they are completely interlinked. Through the control of the external borders and security, states are taking action in solidarity and with shared responsibility. In this way, they can fight against transnational organized crime, including smuggling of migrants and trafficking in person, and they can also save lives at sea and respect fundamental rights of each individual. Definitely, COVID-19 is having an impact on migration, and all states in the world, including EU member states, are taking extraordinary measures to contain the spread of the virus that have impact in restricting some fundamental rights. But these measures are also positive and inclusive in a way. For example, some EU member states are starting processes to integrate migrant workers by extending the validity of their residences or permit of stay. Italy, for example, is doing so for domestic and agricultural workers. France is now discussing regularization paths. Ireland is now granting full access to welfare by paying employment COVID subsidies. Other countries like Belgium are extending residence permits and have begun to release asylum seekers whose claims was rejected from detention centers. We can talk about this and other issues during the lesson that we are going to have. Thank you. Bye.